Your father obviously getting some reaction for his call to bring back waterboarding. Give us your reaction to yet another terrorist attack.
You know, the Post said it best. I had to bring this in this morning. You know, how many more? You know, you have a father carrying a kid across an airport. How many more? You have 41 people dead in Turkey. You have 49 people dead in Orlando. You have thousands dead from 9/11. You have San Bernardino. You have Brussels. I mean, how many more have to happen before we get tough? I mean, here we have a president that can't even say radical Islamic, terrorism, can't even utter the words. Here we have an administration that says that ISIS is on the run and that we're winning, yet every single day it seems like somebody's going into an airport and shooting it up, or going into a nightclub in our own country and shooting it up, or setting off suicide vests. I mean, how many more people have to die? I mean, this is my father's narrative. It's been his narrative since the beginning of the campaign. Secure our borders. Be tough. He talked about waterboarding again the other night, because at what point, if somebody walks in with suicide vests, I mean, at what point are you tough on those people? I mean, the words aren't doing it. Kissing these people, it's not doing it anymore.
People are really frustrated, and obviously this has been the lead point on your father's agenda from the get-go. What does he want to see happen? I mean, Hillary Clinton is trying to paint your father as, unfit, and yet everything that keeps happening point and play right to exactly what he has been predicting.
Well, it's interesting when she used the word unfit, because $6 billion escaped her State Department. $6 billion went missing. I mean, so talk about somebody that's unfit. I mean, it's insane. I mean, think about the tax dollars that is. That's tens and tens and tens and tens of thousands of people's tax dollars just poof, gone missing. But
so what is his strategy? I mean, people want to hear specifics in terms of actually getting tough.
Listen,
what does he mean by that?
He will be so tough. He will knock, I don't want to use the word, but he will go after ISIS like they've never been gone after before. He's a tough guy. He's also an incredibly compassionate guy. He believes in right and wrong. But when you have 3 suicide bombers going in and vests and, wounding 200 people, killing 41, and that death toll is still going up, I mean, when does it end? And it's interesting. You saw this with the Brexit thing, right? I mean, if you look at the UK ended up leaving the EU largely for this reason.
That's right.
They want to be safe. They want to be secure. They want to have their own economy. They don't want to be subsidizing other countries. I mean,
it was about immigration. They've got these open borders, and they want to be able to control the flow of people in and out of their country.
And if you look at the parallels of what happened there and relate them to our own country here in the U.S., I mean, it's really the exact same, and I think it's why my father's doing so well. In America, we want to be happy. We want to be safe. We want to have a thriving, economy. I mean, we don't make anything in America anymore. It's so sad. Our manufacturing has disappeared. That's what he spent so much time talking about yesterday.
And I want to talk about that speech, because the trade speech is getting a lot of talk. But first, let's show this new Quinnipiac poll this morning, which actually shows Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton's gap really narrowing. And this was taken after Orlando. We saw a Washington Post ABC poll before Orlando, but it is clear that as these things keep happening, the public is responding to Donald Trump's campaign.
Sure. Well, listen, these attacks are the result of really, 8, 12 years of a failed policy. I mean, it's horrible policy in the Middle East. We probably shouldn't have gone to Libya. We shouldn't have gone to Syria. I mean, the policies in Iraq were disastrous. I mean, there hasn't been a single thing that Hillary's done that's been right in terms of foreign policy.
Well, she said yesterday it's time to move on.
We've destabilized the entire Middle East. We've spent trillions of dollars doing it at the detriment of our own country. And look what we get. Again, we get more bombings. We didn't have this before. We didn't have this before. Her foreign policy has been reckless. And
we've got refugees coming into America. Your father has said he wants to stop that refugee flow.
Yeah, no question about it. I mean, people are telling us, and the FBI and the CIA, the directors, and ISIS as well, are saying that they're going to infiltrate, the 200,000 Syrian refugees coming into this country. I mean, you look at inner cities in this country, right, and you have minority joblessness rates of 57, 58%, but yet we want to take in 200,000 people, of which are security directors. I mean, the top people in the land, the top security experts in the land, are telling us ISIS will be among that group. I mean, how crazy are we? We need to put our country back to work. We've got to put our people back to work. We have to put our economy back. We have to keep our country safe, and that's what my father plans to do.
And we know that ISIS has a passport-making machine at this point. I want to talk about the trade speech yesterday. Your father attacking Hillary Clinton's trade policy, really highlighting all of his plans to change it. I want to get your reaction and also go through it. Listen to this.
Hillary Clinton unleashed a trade war against the American worker when she supported one terrible deal after another, from NAFTA to China to South Korea. A Trump administration will change our failed trade policies, and I mean quickly.
Now, when he went through all of the trade deals, whether it be TPP, Trans-Pacific Partnership, or South Korea, or NAFTA, there was some worry and concern out there that is he going to come in and change everything? Is that going to create a trade war? Is this actually too much disruption?
Listen, I think you need a disruptor in there. I think you really need a disruptor in there. I mean, the reality is since 2000, we've lost 1/3 of all manufacturing jobs in this country, right? 1/3. They're gone. They're overseas. You drive through towns in Pennsylvania. I went to boarding school in Pennsylvania, right? The town that I went to school in, they had the biggest buildings you've ever seen, right? They made the steel for Empire State Building. They made the steel for the Golden Gate Bridge. These buildings are vacant right now. They haven't been occupied in 50, 60 years. I mean, we don't have manufacturing in this country anymore. And then you go over there and you see the steel industry over there. You see the coal industry over there.
And your father made that point that the foreigners are dumping steel at cheap prices.
Of course they are. Of course they are. We don't make anything. We don't produce anything. We're totally beholden. I mean, there's so many articles out there about how we even buy so many of the computer, you know, the electronics for our armed services and this and that. I mean, our country has become beholden to overseas manufacturing, and that's really, really sad. At the same time, we're losing all jobs. I mean, everything we're doing is killing jobs. And so he pointed to NAFTA. He pointed to TPP. I mean, NAFTA was obviously put in by Bill Clinton. You know, and Hillary was effectively the author of TPP. You know, these are job-killing bills. It's sending all our manufacturing. It's sending all our call centers. They're all going overseas.
But doesn't he have to walk a balance of, yes, I'm going to get tough on these trade deals. I'm going to protect America, but at the same time, not create trade wars, whereas we're seeing massive tariffs on international goods, making things that much more expensive for America.
I think the reality is we already have a trade war, right? But it's coming our direction. I think he's the first person to say that. We have a $500 billion trade imbalance with China. We have an $80 billion trade imbalance with Mexico. You look at Carrier, you look at Nabisco, all the companies that he talks about all the time, Ford, right? They hop 2 feet over the southern border, they make their products there, they ship them into the U.S., all at the detriment of thousands and thousands of jobs in America that are now lost. Now, those people require government assistance, those people require, you know, government health care, you know, and that just further perpetuates the cycle. And that's a really, really sad fact. I mean, we need to put America first, and that's really become his message, America first. We have to put America first again. We have to get people back to work.
Are you seeing a change, a shift in any way within the strategy? I mean, obviously, over the last week, we've heard a little pivot in terms of the Muslim ban. He's talking more now about the countries that are terrorist countries as opposed to just all Muslims.
Honestly, I don't even think it's a shift. I mean, people want to call it pivot or whatever it is, right? It's not really a shift. His message is pretty simple. We're going to keep America safe, right? We're going to keep the bad guys out of this country. That's his message synthesized, right? We're going to keep the bad guys out of this country because every single day we're having these.
Right.
And we can't have these. We can't have them anywhere in the world. Not with our allies, nowhere. But we certainly can't have them on America's soil. And, you know, believe me, he will be the toughest person that anybody's ever seen on ISIS, on terrorism, on people who want to harm this nation.
How worried are you that there are terrorists in America right now?
There are. There's no question about it. I mean, I don't think there's any intelligence person that wouldn't say there are cells of terrorists who want to inflict harm. And this isn't ending. I mean, this isn't ending. So we better do something about it. And we better acknowledge a problem that we have. And we better get very, very tough. I mean, we better get very, very tough. And it's enough of this stuff. I mean, it's really enough of this stuff.
He certainly